Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scribo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Thursday, July 14th, and the moon is now in Aquarius. It moved into Aquarius at 4:14 a.m. this morning on the east coast of the U.S. We had that full moon yesterday in Capricorn, 22 degrees of Capricorn. And of course, it was a very powerful full moon. We had the moon in Capricorn making a conjunction to Pluto. Opposite that, we had the sun in Ceres in Cancer, reaping. There was a reaping sensibility yesterday. But there were also a couple of other aspects that were that are worth mentioning just before we get to today's, and that is there was a hold on, I wrote it down. Yesterday there was a trine between Venus, the planet of love, the planet of what is of value, what's important to us, to Saturn in Aquarius. Of course, Venus is still in Gemini. And we also had yesterday a sextile between Mercury and Uranus. Those two aspects on their own, without that full moon, would have been plenty enough to happen in a day. But it did happen at a full moon, a time of great awareness. The sextile between Uranus and Mercury gives us access to higher vibrational states of consciousness, actually. And out-of-the-box solutions. So stay open to the promptings. I mean, these aspects, while exact, are around for a while. You know, we feel them the whole week sometimes. Sometimes we feel them longer than that. But so this is a time for, listening to that inner voice, or listening to things that you're a little unfamiliar with, or slightly familiar with, that help to expand your vision and your consciousness and your ability to solve problems. Today we have that Aquarius moon, which is always good for sort of hanging out with friends, talking to people of like mind, brainstorming, very, very Aquarius. We get a perspective on things that we sort of pull ourselves away from the more emotionality of the moon, and are able to think some of our emotions and get perspective and objectivity from them, which is not a great place necessarily. Like anything, it's an opportunity to step back and see things from a different perspective. And we do have to remember that Mercury now is in Cancer. And so whatever, let me pull you over here. We have some pretty flowers over here. Whatever the sign the moon is in influences Mercury, because Mercury's in Cancer. And so we are thinking of maybe perhaps a little bit more scientifically even about the situations we find ourselves in and the way to solve those situations. I'm just going to sit down for a moment here and look at what else is going on today. The other thing that's happening today is we have a square between Venus and Neptune, the first quarter crisis and consciousness square. We feel crisis and action square. We feel the need to take an action. Venus and Neptune are simpatico with each other. Venus, of course, is the planet of love, and Neptune is considered the higher octave of Venus, the planet of compassion. Also imagination, imagining. So we got some big clouds here. I guess maybe we'll get some rain today. It's been pretty dry. Sorry about that. I got distracted by the clouds. Unusual that they're over there. They usually come from a different direction. So that's very interesting to me. Anyway, that may have something to do with the astrology, right? Things coming from a different direction that you're not expecting. So the crisis in Action Square wants us to take an action. It's not always clear when you're dealing with Neptune as to what the proper action is. Although when you're dealing with Venus, I think it's always best to err in the side of love and compassion with this combination. Not to get caught up, not to get duped by maybe somebody who says they are what they are not. We still need some discernment here, but certainly this is a day where we feel the need to take action, and on those things of value, on those things that we love, on our dreams and our ideals. So take the steps gently, maybe a little cautiously, and we should be okay. We have some phlox growing up back there. See that purpley flower? Now those are I think that those are planted here, but they do kind of grow wild around. Once they're planted, you'll see them on the side of the road. Yeah, so we got some pretty cool stuff. It's been hot the last couple of days, so but pretty, right? All right, guys. So that's what's going on today. Have yourself a wonderful day. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the astrology of the week ahead if you haven't done that already. It's a little long, but it's very informative. And there's actually a lot of things happening, and that actually have already happened this week. But it's worth it to have the perspective. All right, guys. Take care. Much love. Namaste.